Hello, my name is Reggie Bray, Operations Section Chief with Pacific Northwest Team 2. And this is the Dolan Fire Briefing for Monday, September 14th. We'll start out with kind of current conditions, current situation, what's going on. Overnight, the fire was relatively quiet. The marine layer actually come down the Salinas Valley, and RH recoveries were really good on the east side of the fire. Around Arroyo Seco, there was like 100% humidity recovery. The interesting thing was along the coast, though, below 800 feet, the inversion was really non-existent. It stayed above it. So the work that we did yesterday down in Pruitt, off of Pruitt Ridge and around the structure just north of Pacific Valley, continued to back down. We had firefighting resources in there all night long, working around the structures, just making sure they were okay. We were able to get fire down around most of those last night, and even early this morning, pictures from the night operations showed us that fire was just continuing to steadily back down through off of the hill, and looked really, really good. So we're really pleased with the depth that we're getting of fire black off of the line and really securing everything to the south around Pacific Valley. Operations today, we went into unified command with CAL FIRE, specifically in the northeast part of the fire, around Arroyo Seco, back over around in the divisions, the area of Release Canyon, and just to the west of Pine Canyon. So what we've done is we've just joined forces with CAL FIRE. They brought a lot of their resources in, and we're just meshing together with our resources. We have a really good plan in place, a lot of great cooperation with them, and all of their assets that they've brought and resources, and really boosted the numbers of people that we have in this area. So around Arroyo Seco, they're just going to continue structure prep. We're going to watch this fire as it kind of continues to move north. If we have the opportunity, we're going to put aviation assets and resources on that and try to keep that in check. We are having some issues with the inversion, and being able to fly just with visibility. So as soon as that lifts, we'll have aircraft in the air. But we're going to continue just to build those containment lines, securing, making sure that we have those lines secured, improved, so that if necessary, if we need to begin burnout operations to secure that fire from moving east toward Pine Canyon, some of those areas, we want to make sure that we have all that in place. Everything looks good around Coleman Canyon, the AV Ranch. Really have a lot of good work going on in those structures. We're continuing to prep them and build those containment lines, and tying them back into some of the road systems, just trying to keep that fire as far to the west from the values, those structures, those things over on the east side that we can. Moving down around to the south side, we're able to get a good handle on the spot that occurred a couple of days ago. Really, no problems with that yesterday. Crews were able to get in there and contain that. We just continue to see a little westerly flow on this side of the fire. So we're really focusing and making sure that that fire stays, to the west of our containment lines, and really continuing to work that as much as possible here as it gets down into Fort Hunter Liggett. Moving around to the south side of the fire, we're still continuing to build containment line across McKern Ridge, from the Nacimiento Ferguson Road over to Pruitt Ridge. We anticipate, that taking maybe a couple of shifts, but we're hoping to initiate some firing actions based on fire behavior, really looking at the weather, taking advantage of a southerly flow, southerly winds the next couple of days to get that started, to get that accomplished. So that's a real critical focus for us down here on this side, just to keep fire from moving around and continuing to go south in areas that we do not want it to get to. Coming over here to Pruitt Ridge and the Highway 1 corridor, really looking at continuing to help that fire back down around the structures, continuing to build depth. There's a possibility that today we may initiate some helicopter aviation ignitions. So we'll do some aerial ignitions in and around just north of Pacific Valley. The structures are really secure. There's just a big gap, kind of a big horseshoe of unburned fuels, and we want to just get that fire, get it back down to the highway, and just in a controlled fashion, kind of let it do its own, but just even it up and get it down there so we can secure that and really lock off this south end of the fire. Back along toward Highway 1 going north to Hermitage. Really good work done around the structures in there. Yesterday it was really quiet. Things had really mellowed as far as fire behavior. We had crews in there just continuing to mop up and patrol that. As we move up the coast, really just continues to be quiet. Today with that inversion layer not really being in there this morning, the visibility was good. We may continue to see some pockets of unburned just continue to flare up in a few places. Moving up here to the north side of the fire toward Anderson Peak, McWay Ridge, the North Coast Ridge Road, that area continues to be quiet. No activity last night, really nothing yesterday. We just continue to have some crews up there in the daytime and at night, just checking it periodically and just keeping resources in there. They're just monitoring that. That's the end of the briefing. Thank you.